veneer that we're working with in this video series is quite ripply and quite dry. So I am going to soak this really well before I put it in the press. And you can see I put down some paper. This is not going to be used in the actual process, just to catch any of the anything that drips off. Check my table. When you press and use an absorption material, you want to make sure it's a non-printed paper, because the actual veneer softener can actually affect the print and transfer it onto your veneer, which you definitely do not want. So we're just going to spray this down really good, because we want this super flexible. And it's a alcohol glycerin based mixture. Nothing to really affect you personally. I wouldn't go drinking it or any of that stuff, but if you get it on your skin, it's not a big deal. We're not pressing this one. I'm just going to set this aside for now in the press. We're going to put it on top with some weight to see how it works without using a vacuum press. It's highly recommended to use a vacuum press in the softening process. These look pretty good. I'm going to put them in the press. Put another layer of paper on. We'll put our caul on top. We'll close the lid and dry vacuum. Before we open the press, we're going to take a look at the veneer that we left just under a weight. I didn't even change the paper, so I'm kind of curious on how this turned out. So the veneer is more flexible, but unfortunately, it's not as flat as I would like it. I think we're going to notice a huge difference when we open up the press and take a look at the veneer that was inside the vacuum press. So I think this veneer is going to be much flatter and much more flexible. You can see a huge difference in the veneer. Nice and flat. So you can definitely use the method of no weight, but it's not going to flatten the veneer like a press is. The design I'm going to use, I'm going to cut out of this to go inside our little plaque. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on my veneer, and then we'll tape it down and then cut the veneer out. So the key to this process is taking your time and not rushing it. And make sure that you have a sharp knife. You keep on changing your blades. Do it. You'd rather go through a lot of blades and make your life easier than sit there with a dull knife trying to cut through veneer. What I like to do is use a straight edge as a guide, and I will just put it down. Now the key in doing this type of process is to realize what part of the veneer you're using. So the inside part is what we need to worry about. So if we cut past the line, it's not going to matter because that's not the part of the veneer that we're going to be using. Nerve-wracking part, and that's taking your pattern off and popping your veneer out. I like to take the pattern off first, take a look at all my cuts to make sure that everything is exact, and then I'll try popping it out. You don't want to force it, and especially with all these little sharp corners, you don't want to break it. So let's just take the pattern off first, take a look at it. Sometimes the veneer just pops right out and you have no problem at all, but I don't think we're going to be that lucky on this one. We got a, oh no, that's, thank goodness. All right. I'm trying to change my blade out to make all my little final cuts. But it's looking good. Some of it's really popping out, some others aren't. All right, so this turned out extremely well, but man, I am really happy with how this turned out. I'm gonna pick it up gently. So I think that turned out really well. I think that's gonna look really nice. For the next step, we need to make a match for our inlay. So what I'll do is I will actually take a piece of veneer that I cut the inlay out of, and I will place it down on my other piece and lay it out to where I want it. Get an idea of where I want it. And once I have it in place, I'll tape it down, and then we'll cut out just like we did with this. So it's cut out. Now for the moment of truth, let's take our inlay piece and slide it into place and see if it fits. Oh my. I think we just need to get the veneering tape, tape this in place, and then we'll veneer it. So the key with paper taping is remembering that you're going to have to take the tape off when you're done. So you don't really want to go with too much tape. And then again, you don't want to go with too little tape. You want to make sure that you cover all of your joints. And also with a piece like this, we might go with a little bit more than less, just to make sure that everything is laying true and flat and in its place. I'm just using your standard paper tape, and it's gummed on one side, and I just like a generous amount of water. So what you can do, if you want, is cut all your pieces first, so you don't have anything too long or too short. I wish I had some scissors. I am just going to cut off a generous amount here, and maybe try to give myself pieces. Shiny side is the gum side. That's what you really want to get wet. Inlay is taped in place. I also patched this veneer, this crack right here in the veneer. I'll let this dry a little bit. I'm gonna have some lunch, and then we'll come back and maybe veneer it after lunch. If not, we'll do it tomorrow. But it's looking good, and we'll go from there. So veneering a flat panel is an extremely simple process. You just want to make sure that your substrate is clean, sawdust free. Typically, I would use a powdered plastic resin glue. Quality VAKuum Product makes a product called VAKuum 2000, which is a powdered glue. It's great for doing veneering and laminating. It has an extremely rigid glue line, long open time. But for this project, this is just something that I'm going to put on my wall, and I want to get it done quickly. So I'm using a fast set glue from Spectrum Adhesives. Kind of looks like Pepto-Bismol almost. And it's very simple. I'm just going to force the glue out. I'm just going to spread it. And the key is put the glue on your substrate, not on your veneer. You always want to make sure that you have enough glue. The only disadvantage about putting too much glue on is you'll get excessive glue squeeze out. It just causes your cleanup, the end process a little bit more work, because you just have to clean up the edges, clean up your bag. What I'll do is put my veneer in place. gonna put my coil on. Then we'll put it in the press. Our piece is under vacuum. Shut off. Got a few things to do around the shop. Come back in an hour or so and check out, see how it did. And one of the things that you can see, I got a lot of glue squeeze out coming. That's a good sign. But this type of glue is a PVA type glue, so it'll clean off very easily. I probably should have put a piece of wax paper on the underside of that to help protect it, but hey, you live and you learn. I wasn't able to get a chance to take it out of the press yesterday, so we're going to do it this morning. Take our vacuum line off. I am using a automatic 5 CFM all air operated vacuum source from Quality VAKuum Product. It uses 6.5 CFM of compressed air to generate 5.2 CFM of vacuum flow. It's a nice lightweight unit. I love it. This is also a frame press that I purchased from them. Let's open this press up and see how this turned out. Now, I made a couple of mistakes. Nothing huge, but one of the things that I typically like to do is put a piece of wax paper down on my tabletop so any glue squeeze out gets much easier to clean up. And also I typically will put one over the top between my veneer and my caul. It's not really going to affect it that much, it just makes it easier to clean up. So, this looks really nice. We'll do some cleanup and then put some polyurethane on it and get it up on the wall. It's been a couple days since I took this out of the press. Now it's time to remove the paper tape. What I did is I took a sponge and I wet down the paper tape again to reactivate the adhesive to be able to take it off much easier. That's what the majority of people out there on YouTube have said to do. It's a little bit easier than sanding just because I don't have to worry about going through my veneer and revealing the substrate. So we'll just peel off the paper and give it a good sanding and then polyurethane and get up on the wall. All the paper tape has been removed. We trimmed the edges and sanded it and put on a couple of coats of ultra flat polyurethane. This is the finished piece. Turned out beautifully. I am super excited about it. Thank you for watching this video. Please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I look forward to doing future videos for you.